Yo, what it do, gang? Welcome back to the channel. So listen, bro, this is the follow-up video to the last video that I made, Asian Warriors versus Social. And if you haven't seen that video, go check that out. It'll be somewhere up here or somewhere in the description below. Go give that a like, show it some love. With that being said, I have 3 replays for you guys. One is against Runick, one is against Mathmech, and the other one is against Memphis, or whatever the deck is called. And also, I know what you're wondering, bro, where have you been? It's been like 4 days since I uploaded. I'm sorry, bro. Sometimes, like during the week, I work overnights and then I work day shifts. So by the time I wake up, I gotta go to work, and you know, my brain just be fried. And I don't want to sit here and make a video where I'm all sluggish and tired, because it's not gonna be enjoyable. With that being said, this deck made me enjoy Yu-Gi-Oh again. Like this deck, I don't mind playing any deck as long as I have this deck right here. With that being said, I have the 3 replays for you guys, and I'll have the deck list at the end of the video, and I'll show you how to do like little combos and stuff like that, going over the deck, everything that you need to know. With that being said, let's get into the replays. Alright, gang, so like I said, I have 3 replays for you guys, and basically, like I said, I had to start it off right, bro. I had to start it off right. I have to show you the first clip against Runick. Runick is disgusting, bro. I don't even know why this deck exists. Like, who made this deck, bro? Anyways, they activate Runick Allure, activated Runick Flash Fire, which lets them special summon Runick Wings. That triggers the Runick Allure. They activate the wings, sending a card to the graveyard. That way they can search for their field spell. So here they get the Runick Fountain, their field spell. That triggers the Runick Allure. They banish one of my cards, activating the Runick Fountain, activating Runick Slumber, which banishes 3 of my cards. That triggers the Allure, which banishes 1 of my cards, activating the Runick Tip, searching for another Runick Fountain, which banishes 1 of my cards. They activate the Runick Fountain, getting the 3 spell they just used back into their deck so they can draw 3 cards. Perfectly balanced, no problem. Oh, did I say that he banishes 1 of my cards? Activating another Runick Fountain, activating Terraforming to get another Runick Fountain. They activate Runick Golden Droplet, and that thing banishes 5 of my cards, bro. 5 of my cards. This is perfectly fine, perfectly balanced. So they activate it, that triggers the Runick Allure again. They activate the Runick Fountain to get 1 spell into the deck so they could draw another card, which also banishes 1 of my cards. They set down a back row and end their turn. Bro, I haven't even drawn a card yet. It hasn't even been my turn. 12 of my cards are banished for no reason. Perfectly balanced. Skill issues, right? So here we draw into our card. We activate our Fire Tenki. They activate Runick Slumber. We activate Cosmic Cyclone. That way we can banish the Runick Fountain. They activate Runick Smithing Storm. And we activate Forbidden Droplet. We honestly didn't need to, but I just wanted to negate the effect of the Runick Wings. I'll explain later. But then they banish 2 of our cards. We get rid of their field spell. They banish 3 of our cards. We get to draw the card that we were going to search for with our Tenki. And then this thing triggers 4 times, bro. Perfectly balanced. Kill issues. So now, on top of all the cards that he's already banished, 1, 2, 3, 4 more cards get banished, bro. Listen, I just started my turn, right? 21 of my cards from my deck are banished, bro. That's half of my deck in turn 2. Why is this deck a thing? Anyways, we activate our Masterful Summon, sending a card to the graveyard so we could search our Ignitious Sun Kong, which lets us special summon it, which lets us send the Runick Wings back into the extra deck. That's why I said we didn't really need the droplet, but you know, just in case, you never know. We special summon our Reveler's Lung Fang, then we link off into our Double Dragon Lures. With our Double Dragon Lures, we're going to search our Valiant Sang Di, which lets us special summon it because we have 2 Asian Warriors monsters on the field. And it's free real estate, bro. Get this garbage out of here. GG's, not really. Yo. Like turn 2, bro, 21 cards banished. you still got washed. With that being said, let's go into the next replay. Oh, by the way, just in case anybody says it's because of droplet, bro, we didn't even need the droplet. I just did it for, like, just in case. Anyways, boop. Alright, gang, so for the next replay, make sure you get your pens and pads, fix up your glasses, get your little calculator, because you guys already know we're going up against Mathmech. Honestly, I think that the Asian Warriors is underrated, bro. Well, at least with the way I'm playing it. But here they activate the Mathmech Singular. They send the Sigma to the graveyard, that way they can special summon it, activating the effect of the Mathmech Singular in order to search for the Mathmech Super Factorial. They link off into the Link Disciple with the Mathmech Sigma. Then they activate the Parallel Exceeds, which lets you special summon it, which lets them special summon another Parallel Exceed. They use one of the Parallel Exceeds to link off into the Link Devotee, because they are devoted, of course. They activate the effect of the Link Devotee, activating the effect of the Link Disciple. That way they draw a card, return a card, get a token on, get 2 tokens onto the field. Then they link off into Splash Mage, get splashing, of course. So then they activate the effect of the Splash Mage, bringing Mathmech Singular back onto the field, and then they summon the Mathmech Diameter. That way they can Exceed summon into the Parameth Alemberdian. So now they use this effect to search for another Mathmech Singular. They special summon one Mathmech Addition by giving one of their cards an attack boost. Then they link off into Severus Wicked. Then they decide to link off using the Mathmech Addition and a token into IP Masquerena. They activate the effect of Severus Wicked, banishing a card so they could get their follow-up for next turn. They set down 2 cards back row and end their turn. And this is a full Mathmech board. I mean, they're missing the Link Guribo, but that's not really all that necessary. So here we start off by activating the Harpy's Feather Duster. That way we can force out the Mathmech Super Factorial. And this is a piece of advice if you're playing against Mathmech. Anytime you have a Call by the Grave and you get to Call by the Grave anything, Call by the Grave the Mathmech Diameter. Because this is the card that when they Exceed summon, is going to give them a Omni Negate, right? So I Call by the Grave that thing immediately. They activate the effect of IP Masquerena. I'm like, I have 2 cards on the field. Why not use them? Droplet. So we send the 2 spells that we just used with the droplet, so that way we can negate both of the Link monsters. Like I said, we Call by the way the Mathmech Diameter. That way when they Exceed summon, they don't have an Omni Negate. But also, it forces them to not Exceed summon, because at this point in time, they could only bring one more Paramech Alemberdian onto the field, and that thing doesn't have any useful effects right now. So they get Harpy's Feather Duster. They try to activate the Severus Wicked, but the thing is negated by the droplet. We activate our Virtuous Louis Zheng, which that card lets us send a card from the hand or the field to the graveyard. That way we can special summon one of our Asian Warriors from the deck. So we go with our Masterful Sun Mui. We send our Masterful Sun Mui's effect, which lets us search for another card by sending one of our cards from the hand or the field to the graveyard. So we search the Ignatius Sun Kong. That way also when you do it like this and you special summon it, it lets you send 1 card from the field back to the deck. So we go with the Alemberdian. We have our Rebellious Loom Throne, which lets us special summon itself as long as we have 1 more warrior monster on the field. Then we link summon into the Double Dragon Lords, activating its effect to search for our Valiant Sang Di, which because we have 2 Asian warrior monsters, it lets us special summon itself. Also, this thing gets a 300 attack boost per each monster that's on the field on our opponent's side of the field. So that thing has 4100 attack. We slap the Wicked in the face, slap the IP Masquerena in the face. Then we send the Valiant back into the graveyard, so that way we can send the other the Mathmech Addition to the hand, so we could end it with lethal damage. GG's. This deck is underrated, bro. Like, I've been loving playing this deck so much, you guys don't understand it. I don't want to play any other deck, bro. Like, this is the underdog for me, and I love being the underdog with this deck. With that being said, let's go to the next replay. Guys, so this is the last replay of the day. And it was against Metaphys or Meta Memphis. Forgot the name of the deck. This is my first time ever playing against this deck. This deck is actually freaking nuts, bro. Like, for real. But also, they do a lot of things, so bear with me with me narrating over it, because there's a lot. So basically, they activate the Grassroots Greener, sending like 20 cards to the Banish Zone. Activating Golden Sarcophagus. That way they send a Necrophase to the Banish Zone, activating that thing with banishes 5 of our cards. That triggers their Metamemphis Ascension and their Thunder Dragonhawk. So Thunder Dragonhawk gets a card from their hand to the deck so they could draw another card. They look for the Metaphys Dimension, activating Fairy Tale Snow to banish 7 cards from the graveyard so they could special summon it, activating Necrophase again, which is going to banish 5 of our cards, activating Chaos Valkyria and Thunder Dragon Dark. So Thunder Dragon Dark gives them another card to the hand, Thunder Dragon Roar. The Valkyrie sends a card to the graveyard, and then again 5 of our cards get banished. They activate Metaphys, sending another card to the graveyard. They activate the Metaphys Ragnarok, sending 3 cards to the graveyard. They activate the Thunder Dragon Roar, which lets them discard a card, return a Dragon Dark to the hand, activating Metaphys Ragnarok, and then they use these 2 monsters right here to exceed into Bagushka. They activate the Nemesis Keystone, which lets them bring it back from the Banish Zone to the hand. And this is supposed to be my turn, so here we go. No, it's not. Thunder Dragon Dark activates. They activate the effect of Metaphys Dimension. Well, they activate the trap, basically. That's all they did. So this gets them another Thunder Dragon Dark to the hand. They activate Metaphys Dedelius. Lets them send the Metaphys Ascension to the Banish Zone, which triggers its effect, triggering the Ascent. They get a card to the hand, Metaphys Dedelius. Then they put the Bagushka in defense position, returning the Metaphys Nephesis to the hand. Now they activate the Tyrant Dragon, and then they special summon the Metaphys Dedelius, activating Metaphys Decoy Dragon, which lets them special summon it from the Banish Zone onto the hand. And this is why I picked this replay specifically, so I could show off this card right here, Ultimate Slayer. This card is disgusting. So basically, you'll see. We send another one of our Xyz monster to the graveyard. That way we could send their Xyz monster back into their extra deck, right? So we activate Lightning Storm to get rid of their back row. They activate Fairy Tale Snow, banishing 7 of their cards. We activate Forbidden Droplet on the on this monster right here, the Metamemphasis Decoy. So they bring out the Fairy Tale Snow. You know, we get rid of their back row. They activate Chaos Valkyrie, sending another Necrophase to the graveyard. We activate our Saga, summoning our Masterful Sun Wu. And this is another way that you could start off your combo. If you have this this spell right here, you could use this effect targeting one of your warrior monsters to search for another one. You specifically always want to search for the Ignious Sun Kong. That way we summon it, which triggers our Masterful Sun Wu, so we send the Fairy Tale Snow back to the hand. We send, with the same effect of our Masterful Sun Wu, we send our field spell to the graveyard, which would normally let us special summon any monster. Like this monster right here, it can be normal summon, but with the effect of our spell, we summon it. Then we link off into our Double Dragon Lords, which activates its effect, which lets us search for another one of our monsters. We go with the Virtuous Lung Sang. Then we special summon our Rebellious Lu Fen, which lets us destroy the monsters with the highest attack on the field. Then we activate our Double Dragon Lord, which lets us send a card from our hand or field back to the graveyard, so that way we could send another card to the hand and free real estate. GG's, brother. This deck is just, bro, this deck makes me happy, bro. I don't know what to tell you. Like, everybody should play this deck, because the thing about this deck is that it makes you think. It makes you figure out what it is that you need to do. You have to really just find a new pattern every time. You're not going to do the same exact thing every single time. It may look like it, but honestly, you have to think about what you're going to do and how you're going to bait your opponent and stuff like that. With that being said, I am going to go over the combos and deck list. So let's get into that. Alright gang, so right here I'm going to show you the main like bread and butter combo that you have. This is, as long as you have, this is your main starter, and so I'm gonna show you how to you could basically, right here right now we can OTK. Like, I know for a fact that we can OTK depending on whether they have negations and stuff like that. But for example, you're always going to start off, if you have this card in your hand, you're gonna start off by activating this immediately. But just in case, for interruption purposes, they just get rid of the back row. I don't know how this computer works. Yeah, get rid of that. So now we can start off our combo, right? So you're gonna activate your spell. This is your saga, right? Activate that. Leave it alone. Then you're gonna normal summon your Masterful Sumo, right? Summon that. You're gonna activate the effect of your spell. You're just gonna target your Asian warrior monster, and the monster that you're always going to search for in this situation is this monster right here. I don't even want to call them monster, but Ignitionist Sun Kong, right? That will allow you to special summon it, because this card was searched. When you search it with the field, with the spell, or with the Asian warrior card, you could always special summon this. So you're gonna activate this effect, which again special summon it, and when you do that, it automatically will trigger the effect of your of this card right here to just send a card back to the hand, right? So you can activate that, send the monster to the hand, poop, right? And then this card has a second effect. Also, that effect of sending a card back to the hand works anytime you use one of your Asian warrior monster effects while this card is on the field. Remember that. Sorry. So you could activate this effect. You're going to send, let's say right now, if you had another Asian warrior monster in your hand, you would specifically send this card to the graveyard. That way you could special summon that Asian warrior monster. But since, you know, let's pretend like that's not the case and whatever. So this is the other way that you would have searched for this card right here to special summon it. But right now, let's say you could I would probably go with this card right here or this card right here. For example, let's go with this one. The main reason is because this card, as long as you have 2 Asian warrior monsters on the field, then you can special summon it, right? So you can activate that, bring it onto the field. Now you have 3 bodies on the field. You're always going to use these 2 monsters here to link summon, unless you have another level, the other level 4 monster that's in this deck. So you're gonna link off into your Dragon Lord right here, and then you're going to immediately activate the effect of the Dragon Lord, which is gonna, you could search any one of your Asian warrior monsters, right? So here specifically you will search for your Asian warrior Rebellious Lun Feng, because this card, as long as you have 1 Asian warrior monster on the field, you could special summon it, right? So bring it to the hand, and then you're going to activate its effect to special summon itself. And that's it. This is lethal damage, because even if they had another monster on the field, you could always pop it with this card. This card pops the monster on the field that has the highest attack. That's just how it doesn't target like Evermax. It gets bodied by this card. So like I said, this is your main bread and butter combo. You just go in for lethal damage, bro. That's GG's. Clip. Also, you would have been able to send any one of these 2 cards to the graveyard with the effect of this card right here, and send another card back to the hand. So as you're doing your combo, you have disruption. This is why this deck is so good at going second. You can go first, and when you go first, usually you're gonna end up with this card and this card on the field, which gives you a non-targeting pop and a sending card back to the hand. But that doesn't protect you for much. It really doesn't. So that's why you mainly want to go second with the deck. And that's pretty much it. That little basic combo, everything I just did should teach you how to play the deck. Like legitimately, just watch how I did every single step, how I told you which card does what, and then legitimately you could just, that's all you need to know about this deck. It's simple, bro. With that being said, let's go into the deck list, and then I'll go over what each card does during the deck list portion of the video as well. Alright gang, so this is the deck list portion of the video. So let's go over the deck list. So we have Asian Warrior, Masterful, Sung Mui. This is, to me, this is the most important card in your deck. this is your main starter. So basically this card has two effects. You can send one card from the hand to the graveyard and then add one Asian warrior monster from your deck to your hand, which most of the time, again, you're going to search this card out so you can special summon it. Even if you don't have the spell right here on the field, you could still do that and just special summon it going to your lord, right? So this is your main card. Also, when you activate another one of your Asian warrior effects, it's going to basically activate a second effect to send a card back to the hand. So then you have your other monster, Asian Warrior Virtues Ling Zheng, and this card is basically like a secondary starter. You don't really want to start out with this card for real, but you know, it's just in case you draw into it and you don't have this card, then you could start something out with this, right? So then this is again your Asian Warrior Ignatius Sun Kong. Basically, this is the card that's going to let you this becomes a negate. Like for example, if you have this card on the field and this card right here, once this card is summoned and they try to activate like I don't know, anything that could like even a trap, bro, trap or spell, you can send this to the graveyard and negate the effect. And by sending this to the graveyard, you could special summon any other one of your Asian warrior monsters from the hand, right? So here's Asian Warrior Fearsome Sang Yang. We only play one of this. I've actually used this multiple times. I actually use this against Fluanderies. And basically it's like whenever time you're in your battle phase, if they're attacking you or you're attacking them, you get to special summon this card and the opposing opponent loses 1,000 attack points. That's really cool. This is your other main going second card. This is your Asian Warrior Loyal Gang Yung, and basically what this card does is it's like if your opponent has more monsters than you, even one, let's say they have one monster on the field, you can special summon this card from the hand. And then if they have two monsters, like one monster or if they have two monsters, then you could pop a card on the field. Then this is your Asian Warrior Valiant Sang Ding. Sorry if I'm butchering the name, but basically this card right here gains 300 attack for each monster that's on the field. It can't be normal summon. The way you summon this is by the effect of your spell or by having two other Asian warrior monsters on the field. Oh, also, if your opponent has more monsters than you, it has a secondary effect which says if your opponent controls more monsters than you can activate this effect. This card can make up to 2 attack on monsters during each battle phase this turn. We got 2 Gameciel the Sea Turtle Kaiju. You know, going second, sometimes you just get to Kaiju something. And funny enough, you get to bring back your Kaiju with this card sometimes back to your hand, right? So that's really cool. This is another one of your main most important cards in my opinion. This card is amazing. Asian Warrior Rebellious Lu Feng. This card, as long as you have one more Asian warrior monster on the field, just one, you could always special summon it. And this card will pop a card on the field, the highest attack monster on the field without targeting. Like I said, Evermax gets destroyed by this thing. Like legitimately, it's super funny. We have one Nibiru, you know, for going second purposes. If they start going summoning crazy, you just Nibiru everything and wipe it out. We got one Harpy's Feather Duster for back row reasons. We have one Monster Reborn. I know what you're Monster Reborn, bro. This is recovery. You could summon this thing back home, send a card to the graveyard, and start off your combo again. I've done it. Trust me, bro. You need this in this deck. You run 3 Part of Extravagance. I have a love-hate relationship with Part of Extravagance because sometimes you can send. I've never had it send all 3 of them, but sometimes it sends 2 of these things to the banishes this card, like 2 of them, and then you're just like you only have one chance to really do your play for real. But you know, hopefully that's enough. All right. Then we get one lightning storm. You know, back row purposes. You're probably wondering why only one. I only have one, bro, and I'm not spending 30 UR points on another one. I'm sorry, it's not happening. This card, I did spend 30 UR points on this card though. This card is disgusting. I don't know. Don't play this against me, bro. Basically, Ultimate Slayer, this card says that you can send any card from your extra deck to the graveyard, And then, for example, let's say they have a synchro summon, right? A synchro monster. If you send a synchro monster to the graveyard, you get to send a synchro monster back to the extra deck. If it's a fusion monster, you get to send it back. Send a fusion monster to the graveyard, send a fusion monster back to the extra deck. And it works like that for synchro, a link, anything, which works really well with this deck. I'm going to explain to you in a second, right? We got Fire Fremantle Tanky, 2 of these. You know, this searches out this card and, you know, most of your level 4 warrior monsters, right? And then Asian Warrior Saga, I already explained. This card is really good in the deck. You need 3 of these, of course. You set it down. Like I said, you summon one of your Asian Warrior monsters, activate its effect to search for another one. I already explained this to you, Brody. 3 Cosmic Cyclone because, you know, you're playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Back Row Duel, so you're trying to banish all of the back row that you can, specifically field spells or the extra stuff. Call by the Grave, you guys already know, just regular staples. We got the Cross Out Designator, 3 droplets. This card would dismantle almost any and every board, depending on what you have in your hand. Trust me, bro, this doesn't always win you games or help you all that much. Like, sometimes you gotta really figure it out. That's why I'm not I really enjoy playing this card, because you have to pick and choose what it is that you want to play through and negate. You have to be smart with this deck, bro. 2 Infinite Impermanence because, you know, infinite just negating purposes. Also, I only have 2, and again, I'm not building 3 of them. I know the card is amazing, but I'm not crafting another one. Now for the extra deck, you could basically switch this up, do whatever you want with it, but I only have 1 Elder Entity, and you know, you send this to the graveyard with the effect of this card right here. You get to pop a card. You get to send one of the monsters back to the extra deck and then pop a card on the field. This card, if it gets sent to the graveyard, it will let you pop a monster specifically on the field, and it doesn't have to be right away. You could just leave this in your graveyard, and at any point in time, you could just activate that thing, right? Then this one right here will let you if it's sent to the graveyard, you could pop a spell. So really good as well. Gaga Cowboy, this is for you know, Sue's purposes. Also, let's say your opponent has like less than 800 life points, so 800 life points, and you just need to get it over with. You don't have a lot of cards. 2 level 4 monsters. Bring this bad boy out and just shoot him up. 800 damage, right? Number 101, Silent Honor Dark, the best level 4 card in the game. Don't argue with me, bro. I'm gonna say that every time you see this card. Amazing. This, just get it, just exchange this with a synchro monster or anything, or any other Xyz monster that you want to. Again, I only had this here for testing purposes, but it doesn't work with the deck, so you could get rid of this. 1 Divine Arsenal AA Zeus. Again, you have Xyz monster. Sometimes you get to 2 level 4 suck up a monster, slap him in the face, and then bring Zeus out. Really good. This is again your main boss monster, Asian Warrior of Double Dragon Lords. Amazing card, right? Quick effects, send a card from the hand or the field to the graveyard, send one of your opponent's card back to the hand, right? Really cool. This right here works extremely well with this card right here as well, right? Because, for example, let's say they have a link monster on the field, you activate this card, send this card to the graveyard, and then you get to draw a card. That sounds pretty good to me. With that being said, that is the deck list, bro. I hope that somebody picks this deck up. I would love to see it more often, because honestly, this deck is super underrated. This deck is so much fun, bro. With that being said, I hope you guys are enjoying the content. If you are, please leave a like, share, comment, and subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. And I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.